Everybody, in previous class you already discussed about tissue culture. In the tissue culture you are prepared explant from the any part of the plant body and also prepared nutrient medium. It consists of high nutrients to develop one cell into multiple mass of cells or finally developed into a plantlets. In this way, both explant and nutrient medium both are sterilized and with help of under sterilized conditions, and the explant is inoculated in the nutrient medium containing test tubes and the laminar airflow equipment. Then after inoculation of the explant into the nutrient medium, you are incubated some 4 to 5 weeks. Then after you are identified different types of callus undifferentiated mass of tissue and also organogenesis formatted tissue and also soma clones. In this way, different types of somatic embryos, that means somatic embryogenesis process. In this way, different types of plantlets are observed after incubation period. Okay. Now in this class I want to go to discuss about the flow chart of the tissue culture and also somatic embryogenesis. Let's discuss about, you already know about the tissue culture. Another important applications of the method, this one is meristematic culture. You know already meristematic culture. The meristematic culture is mainly followed if the plant completely causes disease, viral disease. Okay, one plant is completely suffering with viral disease. That type of viral disease plants, you are obtained virus-free plants through this tissue culture process. Thus one is meristematic culture. Because of the meristematic regions, xylem and phloems are not completely formed. Okay. Next one, the viruses are not present in the meristematic regions. So, your free viral plants are obtained from this meristematic region with help of the tissue culture technique. Okay. This culture is known as meristematic culture. So, with help of the tissue culture, we are prepared virus, disease, non-disease plants or disease-free plants. Disease-free plants. Okay. Let us discuss about the flow chart of the tissue culture technique. Okay. The first one, you already know about the diagrammatically explained in our last class. In this one is the agar plant. This one is a nutrient medium, culture medium. You are taking leaf or stem or any meristem region, flower, anther. In this way, any part of the plant you are taking as a explant. Understand? Then after, this explant is sterilized with help of some sterilized solutions. You are only sterilized outer surface of the explant only. This explant, after cutting into small pieces, you are cutting into small pieces because the small pieces easily inoculated in the test tube nutrient medium. Hence, you are cut into small pieces. In this way, the explant is prepared in the laminar airflow chamber. In the tissue culture lab. Then after, you are preparing nutrient medium. This nutrient medium consists of different types of nutrients, carbonic components, nutrients, and also consists of some growth regulators like auxin and cytokinin, etc. Okay. In this way, These nutrient medium consist different types of nutrients to develop a cell into complete plant. Okay, which nutrients are necessary for the development of plant? Those type of nutrients are completely available in the nutrient medium. And also some growth regulators are also these growth regulators are also mixtured in this nutrient solution. So this nutrient solution or nutrient medium is taken into different types of test tubes. Then after, these are freezing in the 0 degree minus degree temperatures. Then after, these test tubes are also taken in the laminar airflow tissue culture chamber. Then after, the explant this nutrient medium consists of highly nutrient materials. So some microbial organisms are easily grow in the nutrient medium. This is known as contamination. Highly nutrients are available in the nutrient medium, so the contamination is possible with the microbial organisms. Hence, you are also sterilized these nutrient medium. Understand? After sterilization, this nutrient medium, you are taken into the small test tubes. These are also freezing in minus degree centigrade, at minus degree centigrade. Then after, these test tubes and the explants are taken in the laminar airflow chamber. Understand? This explant is inoculated into test tubes. These explants are inoculated into the test tubes under sterilized condition. Under sterilized condition means nothing but in the laminar airflow chamber. Understand? Then after inoculation of the explant into the medium containing test tubes, these are incubated some 3 to 4 weeks in the incubated chamber. After 3 to 4 weeks, this inoculated explant is divided and forms a multiple undifferentiated mass of tissue. That one is known as callus. Understand? Sometimes the callus is not a pure. It is a metamorphosis into organs like a root and shoot. Organogenesis occurs. Okay, like root and shoot formation. After this root and shoot completely develop to form a plantlets. And sometimes the somatic embryoids are occurring. Callus is not consist in these test tubes. Sometimes in the callus place, some somatic embryoids are occurs. Some somatic embryos are appear. These somatic embryos are helpful for the formation of artificial seed. Artificial seeds are prepared with help of the somatic embryoids. These are look like embryos like structures. Okay. Sometimes these are somatic embryos are transferred to another medium, and it will be grow to a new plantlet. Sometimes this incubated or inoculated explant is directly formed into a plantlets. Anyway, after incubation of the explant, plantlets are formed from the organogenesis, artificial seed formation, transferred to medium, and directly formed into plantlets. Okay, these plantlets are transferred to glass house. Okay, in this glass house, you are maintaining some available atmosphere to grow plantlets. So you are transferred to these plantlets from the test tubes into the glass house. Okay, you are gradually easily. That means these plantlets are transferred to glass house. Then after these plantlets are transferred to field. దాని ఫీల్డ్కి అలవాటు చేస్తుంటాం. దాన్ని ఇక్కడ ఓన్లీ న్యూట్రియన్ మీడియంలో ఉంది. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినప్పటికి దాన్ని గ్లాస్ హౌస్లో ఈ పాట్లోకి మారుస్తూ కుందులోకి మారుస్తుంటారు. మార్చిన తర్వాత గ్రాడ్యువల్ గా అది ఫీల్డ్ కి అలవాటు చేస్తుంటారు. గ్లాస్ హౌస్ నుంచి ఫైనల్లీ ఆ ఫీల్డ్ లోకి తీసుకొస్తుంటారు. ఇన్ దిస్ వే దిస్ వన్ ఈస్ ద డయాగ్రమాటికల్ చార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టిష్యూ కల్చర్. అండర్స్టాండ్? నెక్స్ట్ వన్, ద ఫ్లో చార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టిష్యూ కల్చర్. This one is the preparation of medium. This one, plant. We are taking explant from the plant after sterilization only. Sterilization. Next one, preparation of medium. This preparation of medium is also sterilized. After sterilization, you are taking medium into the smallest test tubes. Okay. Then after, under laminar airflow sterilized condition, you are inoculated explant into the test tube nutrient medium. Explant inoculation. Okay. After inoculation of the explant, it is incubated. It is incubated 3 to 4 weeks. After incubation period, this explant is forms organogenesis. Like root and sheet formation is occur, it is developed into plantlets. Sometimes somatic embryo-like structures are formed in this from this explant. So the somatic embryos are utilized for the formation of artificial seed preparation, and these somatic embryos are transferred to another medium, another nutrient medium. These artificial seeds are germinate to form a plantlets. These transformed embryoid, somatic embryoids medium test tubes are also forms plantlets. Sometimes this explant is not formed directly. Callus. The callus is not formed. Directly formed into plantlets with the help of the growth regulators in that nutrient medium. So finally, after inoculation of the explant gives plantlets. These plantlets are transferred to glass house. Okay, you are maintaining different types of availability condition to grow plantlets into elder young plants. Understand? After transfer to glass house, these plants are finally transferred into field. This one is a flow chart of tissue culture technique. Flow chart of tissue culture. This one is diagrammatically presentation of the tissue culture. This one is the flow chart of the tissue culture. Understand? One, somatic hybridization. Somatic hybridization. This somatic hybridization means only the somatic of the cell is fused with one another. In this process, initially you are degenerated the cell wall. First one, at the plant cell, the cell wall is degenerated with the help of different types of cell wall digested enzymes. Then after, only protoplasm is taken in the petri dish. Then after, you are fused with different types of traits, different types of oppositories. Basically, the sexual reproduction is occur in the identical same species. Identical same species. But this somatic hybridization is done various genus plants. Various genus plant. In this somatic hybridization techniques involves in vitro fusion of the isolated protoplasm. In vitro fusion of the isolated protoplast to form hybrid cells and developed into hybrid plant. The hybrid plant is formed by the somatic hybridization. This one is the in vitro fusion. This one is in vitro fusion of the isolated protoplast. The protoplast is isolated from the cell after digestion of the cell wall. After digestion of the cell wall with the help of different types of cell wall digestive enzymes. Understand? Next one, the formation of a somatic hybrids process is known as somatic hybridization. Somatic hybridization means nothing but formation of somatic hybrid plants. Process is known as somatic hybridization. Understand? Some plants shows a physical or chemical incompatibility in normal sexual cross. Okay, but this somatic hybridization provide opportunity for bypassing the conventional plant breeding barrier through direct transfer of cytoplasmic and nuclear genomes to the plant cell. Next one, this somatic hybridization provides some facilities the introduction of desirable traits. Understand? So the somatic hybridization means nothing but you are fused only somatic isolated protoplast. Protoplasmic fusion. Isolated protoplasmic fusion is known as somatic hybridization. Recently, we are also formed one of the somatic hybrid plants to cross in between different types of genus plants. Suppose tomato, potato, Lycoperdicon esculentum, potato, Solanum tuberosum. These are the complete the genus wise. These are completely various types of genus in plants. Various types of genus in plants. So we are treated both protoplasmic fusion under in vitro fertilization process. You are prepared one of the new hybrid plant. That one is tomato. Understand? You are crossed tomato and potato protoplasms and obtain a new hybrid somatic hybrid plant. That one is tomato. Okay, this tomato plant did not have all the desirable combination. It is failure because this tomato plant did not have all the desirable combinations of the character for its commercial utilization. Okay, because of this reason, this tomato plant is not furtherly utilized in the agriculture field. Sexual reproduction is only cross in between same species. But this somatic hybridization is done in between various types of genus. Understand? With help of this somatic hybridization, different types of plants are obtained from the hybridization, somatic hybridization process. So it is most advanced process, and also different various mutational changing plants and also desirable containing plants are also prepared with help of the somatic hybridization process. Okay.
Somatic hybridization. Sexual hybridization has been the conventional method to improve the characteristics of cultivated plants for years. The major limitation of sexual hybridization is that it can be performed within a plant species or very closely related species. The chance of improvisation in the plants is very less. Therefore, species barrier can be overcome by somatic cell fusion that can form viable hybrids, which is otherwise not possible through sexual hybridization. Somatic hybridization involves in vitro fusion of isolated protoplasts to form a hybrid cell and its development into a hybrid plant. Recently, somatic hybridization technique was carried out using tomato and potato. The protoplast of tomato was fused with the protoplast of potato to form a new hybrid plant called pomato. This new hybrid had the characteristics of both potato and tomato. However, the plant did not have all the desired characteristics for its commercial utilization. Applications of somatic hybridization. Somatic hybridization has opened new possibilities for the in vitro genetic manipulation of plants to improve the crops. Some of the practical applications of somatic hybridization are mentioned as below. 1. Disease resistance. Somatic hybridization has helped in the successful transfer of some disease resistance genes from one species to another. For example, resistance has been introduced in tomato against diseases such as TMV, spotted wilt virus, and insect pests. Environmental tolerance. Some environmental factors like cold, frost, and salt also pose a challenge for crops. The genes responsible for the tolerance of such factors have been successfully introduced through somatic hybridization. For example, introduction of cold tolerance gene in tomato. Quality characters. Somatic hybrids for the production of high nicotine content and low uric acid have also been developed. Limitations of somatic hybridization. Although somatic hybridization is a novel approach in plant biotechnology, still there are several problems and limitations where the method is non-rewarding. The success of the technique largely depends on overcoming these limitations, some of which are listed below. Fertile and visible seeds are not always produced by plants through somatic hybridization. The production of viable somatic hybrids is not possible in all instances, even though protoplast fusion between different species or genus is easy.
Facilitates the mixing of two genomes and could be exploited in crosses which are not possible by conventional techniques due to incompatibility. Even though the transfer of a single gene from one plant to another is desirable and the protoplast fusion facilitates an easy monitoring of cell genetic changes. Protoplast fusion could be spontaneous during the isolation of protoplast, or it can be induced by mechanical, chemical, and physical means. The isolated protoplasts are kept in isotonic solution, that is, mannitol and enzyme mixture, to prevent the damage. The isolated parent protoplasts are fused with a fusogenic agent like polyethylene glycol, that is PEG. It is followed by nuclear fusion and results in a somatic hybrid. The somatic hybrids are allowed to grow in the same culture medium. The fused protoplasts are then induced to regenerate the cell wall by transferring it into a suitable medium. This is followed by callus formation, which leads to regeneration and organization of tissues. List out the practical applications of protoplasmic fusion. Due to the existence of incompatibility prevailing between different species, protoplasmic fusion greatly compensates for interspecific hybridization. Somatic hybrids between rice and carrot were produced only through the process of protoplasmic fusion. Somatic hybrids may be used for gene transfer, transfer of cytoplasm, and production of useful allopolyploids.